Alright guys, here's the sad truth. I really wanted to like Grimlord after having played it about a year ago, and while I can definitely say it's better than it was previously, I personally wouldn't buy it now. Let me explain. First off, there were a few parts that I did enjoy, such as combat, dismemberment, and weapons with abilities. One thing I really want to stress though is that through my entire 2-hour play session, frame rate did not lag at all. It did stutter for a second one time, but aside from that, it was buttery smooth. That, paired with the fact that the graphics were good for a quest port, made me enjoy it much more than I had originally. Now, I do have a few tweaks I'd like to mention. For one, when editing this video, I did not expect to hear wind throughout the entire recording, which was annoying, but besides the point. We need more audio in this game and better occlusion. Those are the main things for me anyways. Sounds need to be played on every kind of collision, every movement, every action, and needs way more background music. It felt pretty dull to be running around and only hearing the slight sound of my footsteps. And getting to occlusion, occlusion is not rendering an object that the player can't see, which helps with performance a ton. But in this case, they need to increase the distance at which it works, because I sometimes had objects pop up that look like they randomly spawned in. And speaking of that, sometimes the textures did the same thing. They didn't render in properly or either looked so pixely that it felt like I was playing a game from the early 90s. Also, the tutorial needs way more direction and explanation because even though I somewhat had an idea of what I was supposed to be doing because I had done it before, I was also aimlessly wandering around trying to figure out what the heck I was supposed to do next. And a side note, if any of the developers are watching this, make sure all your dialogue is the same as the text boxes. When speaking to the lady that spawns in front of the stairs after talking to the guy at the top of the stairs, a couple of her spoken words are different than the text box. Now guys, I do think this is much better than it previously was, but at the same time, I believe it still needs plenty of work. Let me know what you guys think, but that's it. So if you guys like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, this is my first time hopping back into Grimlord VR in a long time. I did review it in the past, but I'm actually really excited to see how this is improved. And yes, this is the standalone version for the Quest 2 and Quest 3. So, without further ado, why don't we continue following this tutorial? Ooh, the sword? Okay. I'm digging this. This is gonna be fun, so let's just get straight into it. Ooh. Looks like we have an enemy right there. Well, why don't we see what happens, since this is the tutorial after all. Okay. I can say these graphics are actually pretty great, especially for this being only on the Quest 3. Not too shabby. Oh, that's cool that he's just waiting for us on the ground. Okay, come on. See what you got. Easy. Nice. All right. Ooh. You gonna stay down this time? Take the materials from the chest. We have wood. Okay, so I guess we get to craft things. That's pretty cool. Curious to see what kind of stuff we can actually get. Oh, great. There's 2 of them. Oh, yeah. Okay. I actually really enjoy this combat. Come on. And he loses a head. Now that's awesome. Well, let's keep going up. Oh. Ah. Climbing. Okay. Why don't we take a peek at this? Okay. Our knees bend too. That's actually pretty good. Climbing is a little bit slow, but it does make sense. I mean, we are lifting our bodies up after all. Cool. Okay. Seems to work without any problems. I'm digging it. And then levitating magic shard. Okay. Hold the trigger for a few seconds to rest. I wish there were some sound effects when you grab the sword, or there are when you sheath it. That's pretty cool, but there's no sounds when you actually pick up weapons, which that kind of stinks a bit. But we're gonna look past that. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, this is like the end of the introduction and a boss fight. Nice. Okay, so there are different grips. Very cool, very cool. Okay, he just missed us twice without any issues. I'm guessing this red bar that we see right here is his health. Nice. Ooh, and the yellow bar is his armor, isn't it? Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I wish it was a little bit farther away, or at least on top of his head, right? Why don't we just keep hitting him with the shield? Does that actually do anything? Nice. Okay. And we have this. Guardian's Axe Head. Okay, so we can unlock different parts too. That's cool. Okay, the water's all pixely. That's fine. I mean, we're on the Quest 3. I'm not expecting a ton out of the water. But overall, everything actually looks pretty great. Okay, and we need to jump, so let's head over here. There are sound effects when you walk, but I don't know, there's not many others. The game feels pretty silent right now, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, it seems to be pretty decent so far, but at the same time, I don't like that there's not a ton of sounds. And for example, we're looking at this fountain right here, and from this distance, we can't see it at all. Now, it's not really that big of an issue, but at the same time, I know they're doing it for performance, but it should be when we're not able to look at it, like with the occlusion. So right now, with this, we can't see it, and it wouldn't actually be there. It wouldn't get rendered, and that would save performance.
You! Stop right there if you know any better. I'd turn back if I were you. Jump off the ledge. Too much of a coward to kill yourself, so you want me to... Right then.
Okay, so we get to attack NPCs. They have some pretty good audios too. I'm liking this. Come on. The attacks aren't super difficult to read, but at the same time, they're actually pretty enjoyable. Come on, let's see what we got. Oh, and they can kick me. Can I kick him? I'd like to be able to kick him. That would be nice. Alright. Why don't we use this? Holster my arrows on my back. Oh, and we can block with the bow and arrow. Very cool. Oh, that's nice. These arrows actually break on collision. First VR game I've seen that actually does that, so I'm pretty impressed with that. Nice.
Bested by a